I do. I tried to make some big copies, but we ran out of paper, and I only had 2.
I'll make the others.
That's fine. You can give it to them.
No, I got smaller copies, but these are the big copies.
Yeah, give
Okay.
it to Sam.
Yes, members of council, because they ultimately got to see it.
Thank you, sir. They say you need a big copy.
Oh, yeah.
Meeting with the CEO, Dr. Fuller.
Good deal.
Okay.
Awesome.
I get to take my mask off.
Yes, you can.
Well, good morning again.
Good morning.
Basically, I kept the same budget as proposed from the last year. The only item that I did change was item 05144 for subscriptions. It was allotted for like $629, and we don't use that much for subscriptions anymore. So I adjusted the one for prospects and clients, 05158, and adjusted that one up to $4,093.86. We do see significant clients and build those relationships, and that's one of the ways that we seal these economic development deals, through those relationships. So I think that one was significant and something that needed to at least provide a little more financial backing to. But everything else I kept the same.
Okay.
So I don't have any outlandish requests.
Great.
Usually if I need something, I'll go find it, and Dr. Wright can tell y'all. I try not to be a burden on the county whatsoever. If anything, I try to bring funds into the county. So whatever you all graciously give me, I will definitely take, and then I'll make up the rest on my own.
The council, do you have any questions from Executive Director Parson?
And I just want to thank him for his work he's doing in this, for his effort of the budget he just brought in. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I concur with what Councilman Miller said. It looks really, really, really good. And one expense I'm really noticing is travel and training has dropped from 2018 from 29,000 down to 1,500.
Yep.
At some point, hopefully, when things open back up, you may be able to do a little more travel and training.
Yes.
Because we all need that in our.
And 2019, I was able to get about $10,000 for training from NISA and the power team.
Okay.
So
I was just curious how that number got so low, which I'm glad it's low, but I mean, that's just a big difference,
Grant money.
Yeah. And one of the other things, while I do have your attention there, is with our new projects, I've spoken with Will Johnson and our economic development attorneys, and I've asked, of course, you all have to approve it, that with those new projects, that we have an opportunity to take 5 to 10% from what we get from those projects, and they can go to an economic development fund. It doesn't have to fund my salary or whatever you all approve it for. That can at least give us some relief on the general fund.
Yeah.
So,
well, again, thank you.
Thank you.
Looks like you've done an excellent job in maintaining a tight budget. That's good.
Yes, sir.
Right, if nothing else, thank you.
You're welcome. Y'all have a great rest of the day.
All right.
Let me go hunt down some more companies.
Please do.
off ramp to get down into,
Oh, you will.
yeah.
Allows for river access.
Yeah.
It's gonna be beautiful. But they'll make the formal announcement. Hi, Miss Judy, how are you?
Good morning.
Great,
How's everybody doing this morning?
wonderful.
Well, I almost had time to get nervous after Miss Liz called me. This is the first one I've done, so please be gentle. I'm, of course, with EMS department, and I'm here to present my 21-22 budget. And if you guys would instruct me on where y'all want me to start, I'll be glad to start with that point.
So basically how this works is just give us any highlights. As you all know, we conducted a meeting with you all, and I basically told y'all pretty much where we are. This is your opportunity to kind of talk to council members about what do you feel your future needs are going to be. Obviously, you all are capped at your 15%, and that's it. But I wanted you to talk about any of your wish list items that you'd like to see. So kind of
Okay.
just go through that.
Okay. Well, I can get to that one a little bit quicker then. Our call volume has increased, and I'm assuming you guys have the budget sheet, just for your information. Printing supplies for,
No, you all were supposed to make copies of it for council.
oh, nobody told me that. I even asked, and they said, nope, they'll have everything.
No,
I
there's-
apologize, I did not know that. Okay. Printing supplies. Did a little bit of an increase on printing supplies because our call volume, of course, is going up, which it does every year. It increases every year, which of course, increases our need for printing supplies, paper, ink for the printer, so forth as that. So I did add that in there for some extra paper supplies for that. Medical supplies is another place that I increased it by about 30% on medical because of COVID. Medical supplies have gone through the roof. Gloves for a case of 10 boxes used to be $85, $90 for a case. They're $220 now. And we go through many gloves, many masks, of course, and of course, any other supplies associated with that. Gowns, medications have increased because there's such a demand on some of that. So I increased it by about 30% to help compensate for some of that cost there. Radio supplies and repairs, we have a repeater that's over 15 years old, and we need a new repeater. It is obsolete. They cannot get parts. You cannot get a maintenance agreement on it. I included this with the radio supplies and repairs, and the cost of repeater is about $9,000. And it is a requirement by DHEC. You have to have radios. You have to have a repeater to be able to talk. So I did include that in it. We've worked on that thing. We've borrowed from Peter to pay Paul to cover this to get it to work, and it's at a point now we're actually not even using it. We're having to use an old county repeater to be able to talk right now. So that is one of the things I did include in this is a new repeater for us. Building repairs, general repairs is needed. We didn't have a line item for several years, my understanding pre-me, but last year they gave us one because whenever we would have some type of repair to a bay door or something like that, I had no line to pay it out of. So they gave me a line item, so I put in $5,000 just to cover that. In my wish list. Water and sewer, increase in that. We're going to the new building, which will include water and sewer for that. Travel and training, it's about the same. Contractual services, I included Med Control's contract, which county council had approved for us to compensate him. So I included in this year's, it wasn't this future year's. It was not included in any of the past. It had been approved, but we had never gotten it included in there. So I did include that part of it. Expendables, FF&Es at the new building at St. Lawrence EMS on 521. We don't have furniture that was included in that I can find anywhere. So I included the cost of washer dryer because that is going to be one of our designated storm stations. So we will have not only EMS, fire, Public Works, Highway Patrol, and potentially Sheriff's Department staying in the building, and we needed some furniture and washer and dryer for that building for that reason. Software, we keep updating our computers for the ambulances and our run MediViews. So I added a little bit of that for the software. We had some last year. We used it also for the same thing to upgrade. And this is one of the things I included. I didn't know where to include it, so I did it on both. The enterprise fleet leasing for a new QRV, the one we have now is 15-plus years old, and DHEC does not recommend any emergency vehicle running over 10 years or 125,000 miles. And, of course, the one I have now has exceeded that by 5-plus years and mileage. And it's starting to give me some problems. So that's what I've included in the budgeting as far as the worksheet. And I've got copies of the radio, repeater, so forth attached, which apparently you guys did not get, but I will make sure I get copies and get it to everyone. I did not realize you didn't have it. Also with the fleet, I got it. Then when we move on to the capital outlay request. I've got in here 3 ambulances for remounts instead of purchasing 3, which will save the county quite a bit of money. We can remount one time is what they recommend. Anything over that, they do not recommend. They recommend replace it totally. But we've got 3 that's in excellent shape, the box. So I got some prices on that for potential 3 remounts to get 3 new ones. Same thing, they don't want over 10 years or 125,000 miles. And all 3 ambulances that we have, spares, are exceeding that. I'm trying to plan ahead for the MUSC hospital and the location of it. It's going to take us longer. It's going to be more mileage on trucks, so we want to try and get these done and potentially get a new one maybe in the next budget year, so we'll have enough of trucks, because we're going to probably have to put a 5th truck on 24/7 to cover the call volume. So I'm trying to look ahead and make plans towards that. I also included in the capital outlay request the QRV, because I didn't know which would be the better route for the QRV, so I put it in both to see if the capital lease would be the better, or the lease agreement or the capital outlay for the QRV, which will end up working the best option for that. But I included that plus the 3 remounts. A new ambulance is about $160,000, and the remounts run about $95,000 apiece. So we would come out quite a bit ahead with those to be able to do that this time. And I think that's all I have at the moment. Any questions, thoughts?
Thank you.
Thank you for throwing me in this so fast.
You did a fine job. Let me also say that some of the expendable furniture, fixture, and equipment line items, it depends on when the rural fire headquarters is finished. If there are any funds left in
Right.
that line item, we may be able to pay for it out
From
of
that.
those funds instead of our operating funds.
Right.
So I just want us to keep that in mind.
And that we won't know until right there. Of course, at the end, when we see exactly what we have left and how much, we may have enough to cover the extra furniture. The furniture that was down there, the sofa and all, it is been there since that building's been there, which has been 10-plus years, and it's all I call it leather, fake leather. All of that's come off. It's nothing but threads together. It would have to be replaced. But that was one of the things that she and I had talked about, was what's left over would purchase that stuff if need be. Hopefully we'll have some left over.
Hopefully.
So, any questions? Anything Mike can answer?
Just briefly, Ms. McCray, thank you for coming and seeing us today. What is your total budget in comparison to last year's budget? Is it the same, or has it increased? If so, how much?
It has increased, and last year was approved at $2 million, correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Liz, $2,048,076.60. The request for this is $2,360,190.35. So it's about just over $300,000.
$300,000 increase?
That's with, that's not with the ambulance. That is with the QRV added in. Now, the QRV, of course, would come out of that, but that's about 45,000. And that's with the addition of the repeater and so forth, which if we can find grant money, which I've been looking for to cover some of that, that would take off that, obviously.
I sure wish your repeater was added to the repeaters that we had to purchase during the capital project sales tax, the first priorities, because that's when the fire department added their repeaters in. So that was under the,
I don't even.
yeah, you weren't here
Oh, that was
then.
pre-me?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I just
okay.
wish it was added in then, because
That
we
would've
asked
been-
about that then.
Yeah,
but-
that would have been wonderful because theirs was very old, ours is very old, and I know they had gotten a new one. I didn't know how, of course,
Yes, but
at
it
the
was
time.
the
That was
capital
pre-me.
project.
But we're using their old one because ours right now cannot even be fixed. It's sitting in there collecting dust right now. The one we're on now went down the other day, and we were down for about 2 hours and had to transmit off a fire because we had no way of transmitting.
And you all are not using 800s exclusively.
Pardon me?
You're not using 800s. You're only using the.
Just VHF right now. Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay.
I would love to be on the 800, and the goal eventually was to go to that, was pre-me, of course, and I would love to carry on with that because 800 is the way to go now. That is the best way. So,
Yeah, what needs to happen is you just need to include that subscriber fee in your
Okay.
budget. I mean,
Okay.
because you don't have a whole lot of radios that you all are using. Subscriber fees, I believe, roughly $30 a piece.
Okay.
Just for the fee. You all have the radios, correct?
Yes,
Yes, so you just
Yes.
need to, we need to discuss that before the budget season is
Okay.
completed, okay?
okay.
Any
Anything
questions?
else?
Any other questions, council? No? All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. McCray.